We're headed to the airport. We just bought the tickets, we booked the flights, and made sure the dates were going to work with everyone, and we just got the tickets for the play. You guys, God is so good. My husband works part-time, like on the side, helping this aviation company, and they need a part from Sacramento, and he doesn't really work with them a lot because they're not always like stationed here. They travel internationally, and they just reached out to him after, months of them not being here and said, hey, can you fly overnight and help us with these parts? Like, we really need this to get the aircraft back up and running. He doesn't have to go to school today because randomly his teacher yesterday let him take his final after class yesterday instead of having to drive back and do it today, which has never happened. None of his teachers have ever let him do that. They let him do it yesterday. He didn't have to go today, so he has time to leave and go to the airport. He doesn't have work tomorrow, and the pay that they're going to give him is almost the exact amount that we spent on this trip. I am just in awe of God and how much he cares and how thoughtful he is and how he takes care of every little detail is just incredible. We serve a good God. Okay, it is Friday. It's like almost 6:30. We are all packed, ready to go, checked in for our flights. Everything's taken care of. I am going to spend some time reading. I really hoped to get through it before we're gonna see her play, but I didn't have time this week to read it all because of work. But I am slowly but surely making some progress, or at least I'll kind of know what's going on. I've got my tabbies and we're just gonna see how it goes. Leave for the airport soon. What time is it?
Oh my goodness.
Like 7?
7:22.
We're headed to the airport. Yay! We just got to the airport.
Woo!
I love going to the airport with my husband because he always handles everything. Hi! Last time we were at an airport, my ID didn't match my airline account name because of getting married and my name changed, and it was a whole ordeal. This was so much better. My husband works at the airport that we flew out of, so this is him showing me the equipment he had worked on. Fix the pushback.
The back tug.
The what?
Bag tug.
The white thing?
The little white thing.
Oh, I thought you just told me that the big white thing.
No, I didn't fix that one today.
We couldn't figure out where to eat, but we found this restaurant and we were so happy we went. Look how good the food looks. It was so good. We were very pleasantly surprised. When we sat down at the gate, I saw this girl reading a Brandon Sanderson novel, and I've been asking everyone what book to start with. She started with the Mistborn series, and we actually got to talking about it, and it was really fun. I pulled out Little Women. I was still trying to read as much as I could before Hannah's play, while my husband fell asleep next to me. We were on the plane, and they had turtles all the way down. I also didn't realize this until we got on the plane, but they spelled my name correctly on my Starbucks order. What the actual heck did I just watch? Has anybody else seen this movie? I was getting myself all freaked out after watching that movie on the plane because Ethan was asleep. So I started watching Friends, and of course it's the sad episode where Rachel's leaving. It did not help, but then I turned off the screens, started looking out at the beautiful view. It felt much better. Like, look how pretty the sky is. At one point we were flying like through the clouds, and you can't really see it here, but the sun is so pretty. We are on the way. It is 7:30, which is 4:30 our time, which means I've officially been awake for more than 24 hours.
Oh, jeez.
We got our car, and
Sorry.
we're headed to Pennsylvania. Also listening to Bailey Zimmerman, because how can you not? We just made our first stop. It was not successful because they didn't have a bathroom, but we fueled up and we're heading to a secret location that my husband put into his map and I do not know. During our Barnes trip, we saw 0 stars, do not recommend, and then we made a quick little stop at Trader Joe's for some protein snacks. During the drive, we just kept looking at each other and asking if we're actually Arizona people still, because every time we go back to the East Coast, or even the Midwest, we love the green, the trees, the grass. Actually, the only thing that I really wanted at our wedding venue was real grass, and everybody teased me about that, but I stand by it, and it was beautiful, just like it is here. We saw this really cool bridge. It was also raining. It was way heavier in other parts. I didn't get it on film though because I was sleeping and being passenger princess. So it is almost noon and we showed up at the hotel that we booked and there were fingernails or toenails.
Oh, those are some toenail ones.
On the bed, and also the room was just gross in other ways. So we called Priceline and they're like, oh, we can't do anything, but we can give you a 15% coupon. And we're like, oh, okay. They send it and it doesn't work. Lady at the hotel said she's gonna refund it to the card, but it's through Priceline, so we don't know if we're gonna get that. But my amazing husband booked another hotel and we're going to go and pray that that one works out a little better. So we can go to the fun part and show up and surprise him.
Adventures!
Yes. Hotel room secured. We are on our way to Barnes & Noble.
Shocker.
After meeting up at Barnes, Hannah and her husband showed us around the airplane hangars. Both of our hubbies are working and going to school for aviation. So watching this back, it was actually really fun because in the midst of the first Barnes & Noble, like while we were in there, which wasn't planned because that was what Ethan had picked out, you know, as a stop, Zach texted me because we were trying to figure out where to surprise Hannah, like whether we were going to show up at their house or how we were going to do it. Because we didn't want to, I was worried about showing up at her play and her either not seeing us, so not getting to enjoy like the fun of knowing that we were there, or like showing up in the front row and she's shocked. And she's a great actress, but I didn't want to mess up anything. So he texted and he said she never says no to an impromptu Barnes & Noble visit, so why don't we surprise her there? And I was like, wow, that's a great idea. It's not like we're in a Barnes & Noble right now or anything. This is why we get along so well. So we did end up driving to Barnes to surprise her, which is why we were headed back there. We got there, we were a little bit early, and we were just kind of hiding out in one of her favorite sections, which is like historical fiction. But we saw them come in and I couldn't contain it anymore. We walked up to them and she kind of like looked up and then looked back down at the book and then like did a double take and like looked back up, and we talked about it afterwards and she was like, wow, that couple looks so much like Ethan and Chelsey. It was a surprise. So she was like, what are you guys doing here? And we got to be like, oh, we came to support you and see your play. So that was really fun. But yeah, that's why we went back, and that's a little bit about what happened. And then we went back and got some sleep before the play. It is almost 7. We are headed to the play. We conked out for like 2 hours and we're very tired, but we're very excited. Let's go see Little Women. Post-nap, I was not going to be able to stay awake, so had to get a Celsius today. You guys, look at how cute this little small town is. We are such small town people. We had already talked about like how cute the small town was and how much we missed the East Coast, but look how beautiful it is. We were driving by and Ethan was like, the cornfields just aren't the same in Arizona. And it's true, they don't look like this. Obviously it's very different, but we were just captivated by this view. Absolutely beautiful. Everybody who actually lives here, I am so happy for you and a little bit jealous.
Super late. It's 12:10.
It's 12:10. You just had a Dr. Pepper and I had half a Celsius.
And we're gonna go
and then
crush some sleep.
We went to Wawa, if we can get it in here.
Wawa!
Ethan learned about the rivalry between Wawa and Sheetz, and Hannah and Zach assured us that Wawa is better.
So far I'm agreeing, but I haven't had sheets.
But it was really good, and now we're gonna get gas and then sleep for as long as we possibly can before our drive tomorrow. The play was incredible. I cried so many times. I was basically just crying throughout the entire thing. I cried because I was thinking about how beautiful and awesome it is that like all of these people are here because of their talent and because of a desire to be there. Like they're not getting paid to be there. They're volunteering. Oh, hello.
Hello.
I cried because it was just so special to see Hannah perform in person. I cried when people proposed, when people died, throughout the whole thing. But it was really good. It was awesome to spend time with them and get to surprise her, and yeah.